Hello everybody, welcome to the stream. Are we live? We're live from New York, it's Saturday night. Let's check if we got audio. Are we live? We got audio, alright. We've got video. Let's turn on some music. And then for today I was thinking, I'm kind of burnt out from Purple Mr. Onion. So we're gonna work on something different. I'm thinking, so I really want to make, so I've recently been inspired to build, Minecraft Live. Okay, yeah. Okay. Cool. Anyways, I was thinking we can try to do like a one stream kind of project before we begin with another slightly more complicated project. The more complicated project being Chinese checkers. It is something that Snowing originally proposed, and which now turns out, my girlfriend, new girlfriend, yeah, it's my girlfriend's one of their favorite games. So yeah, that's a thing. We're gonna make Chinese poker, not Chinese poker, Chinese checkers. I also realized I misclassified one of the games. I originally classified it as a board game, even though it should probably be better classified as a card game, which means we have yet another card game to add. And that also means adding a fourth floor to the card game hub. So that's going to be fun. We're not going to do that. We're not going to do that today, I don't think. Unless we're like super bored or something. Okay, we got a secret card. So let's see. So that's chess. Poetry for Neanderthals is not in this proper place. This should be in the card game hub. So one game to make would be Chinese checkers, right there. Did I say? Yeah. We'll put the inspiration once I actually get around to building. And then Othello. So Othello will be the first board game to be added. Actually, you know what? Let's actually put Othello over here. Yeah. So that means Poetry for Neanderthals is going to have to be moved somewhere else. Neanderthals. There we go. Hey, Phantom Toast is here and eating an ice cream. One singular ice cream. So the question is the ice singular or is the cream singular? What is, one ice, presumably that would be like one ice cube, I guess. But what would one cream be? Either way, 9. So I guess they're eating 9 ice creams? 9 singular ice creams. Okay, anyways, Othello. So Othello is here, labeled with the letter J. Why is it J? I don't know. This was decided long ago, and I ain't changing it. We had already talked about this. We're only going to start using the new system once we get to making a fourth floor of games. So let's pop into, copy this. There's going to be Othello. And then we'll see if we can make this like a one-stream kind of project. Because Othello's it's a pretty simple card game. Not card game, board game. That would actually make it even simpler, the fact that it's a board game. It's one of those quick things, quick project, in and out. We don't even need loot tables. Okay. So we just need to do not card games, but board games Othello. Phantom Toast, do you know about the board game Othello? Might be worth asking Dad, because I know this is a board game that I really like, but it's like a pretty simple board game. It's not really that complicated, I don't think. Ah, you don't know? Okay. In that case, we shall learn. Okay. So the dimension, let's put this in info. The dimension is labeled Othello J and 2 players max. It's kind of like chess. It's a two player kind of puzzle game / try to outmaneuver each other kind of game. So that's fun. Okay, so that's all the info we really need. We can jump out of the server and do our standard stuff with setting up the dimension. So we pop into here, into Card Game Hub. We do dimensions, board games, copy from blank. We call this thing Othello. Okay. From there, we pop into the Board Game Hub data pack, and we create this as a new dimension. So we say dimension here. This is, we can copy from chess, that's fine. Call this Othello. This is Othello type. And then we pop into here, into Othello type. Copy this. And it's Othello type. Okay. And nothing special here. Okay, cool. Now I pop into here, bushy eyebrows. Pop into the Card Game Hub world. This is like the test / build world. And we shall begin with Othello. Yeah, let's skip the package process. Okay. Careful, Mr. Onion. We're going to pop all this into a chest and ignore it. Because, yeah, cripple Mr. Onion, I'm feeling a little burnt out from that. It's every time I try to work on that game, I discover a new rule that I didn't know existed and that I have no idea how to implement. So we're going to pop all this stuff into a chest, and then we're going to go execute in Board Games Othello. We're going to run away into a new game. Oop. Okay. A new playground. New place to begin. Okay, so this is the 0-0 spot. And from here begins the Othello board. So let's read through the Wikipedia article for Othello together. That way we can get an idea of what the rules are going to look like, and also an idea of what we should expect to find out. So this is Othello. We're not looking for the play. We're looking for the board game. So I want Othello disambiguation. There's people, geography, buildings. Reverse eye. Okay, so that's what it's called. Reversi. Yep, that's it. Okay, Reversi. There's a card game called Reverses. Ooh, let's see what this is. Trick-taking card game in the Hearts family. What's it related to? So it's a trick avoidance game. Each player normally attempts to avoid taking tricks, except those with counting cards, which is the face cards. And then take the reverses, or take all the tricks. Played with standard 52 card deck. Aces are high, no trumps. And then you get points, and you try to collect points. Okay. You take every trick, it's making reverses. And that player wins the deal. Otherwise, fewest points wins. Okay. Okay. So it's basically hearts. Okay. Might be worth, Okay. Cool. Anyways. Reversi. So, played on an 8x8 uncheckered board. Invented in 1883. Interesting. Fixed initial setup. Okay. So it's an abstract strategy game. 2 players. Setup time is quick. Okay. So 2 players compete using 64 identical game pieces that are light on one side and dark on the other. Each player chooses one color to use throughout the game. Players take turns placing one disc on an empty square with their assigned color facing up. After a play is made, any discs of the opponent's color that lie in a straight line bound by the one just played, and another one in the current player's color are turned over. When all the playable empty squares are filled, the player with more discs showing in their own color wins the game. So, the way it basically works... we do need to consider where black and white are actually allowed to play. So, essentially, okay, so let's start by creating the board. Ordinarily, the board is kind of greenish in color, so we can do that. It's like a felt. Yeah, it's like a felt kind of green. So let's see if we can replicate that kind of thing. I'm looking for like a furry green. That looks pretty furry. Okay, is this centered? So we want that's 1, 1, that's 0, 0. Okay, we want 0, 0 with negative 0, 0. There, okay. So that means we want out to this way. Okay. So we do this. Then we need this to be an 8x8 board. So add just one more bit of rim here. Okay. The 2 middles are these. Okay, excellent. So let's see, this is an 8x8 board. Okay, very nice. So from here, what we need to have are discs which are white on one side and black on the other. This way they can be flipped over. So actually, here's what I was thinking. I don't think we need discs. This is one of those games which could potentially just be done with block displays. In fact, that's exactly what I was thinking of doing. Like, honestly, this is the sort of game that could be done with just redstone, most likely. So you start off with the startup place like this, okay? So what happens is, if black then places a black thing here, you notice here you can create a line going from one black to another. as soon as this one is played, any straight line that has a black on the other side will immediately flip all the colors all the way over to that line. So for example, if we had something like, if for some reason we had a system set up like this and then white just played, then you notice here we just created a line going connected from this white all the way to this white, so it would flip over these. So yeah, that's the game. That's all it is. It's pretty straightforward. So let's see. What do we need in order to successfully do Othello? So first off, we need block displays. Actually, you know what? We don't even need block displays. We can use actual blocks. Let's make this even more... I'm feeling Neanderthal-y today. Let's make this even more simplistic. We just straight up use blocks. Boom. Done. So, 8x8 board. So, now the question is, how do we do... yeah, that's kind of the idea. It's kind of like a Conway's Game of Life thing. Okay, except it's like a multiplayer version of Conway's Game of Life. Okay, so how should we do... oh gosh, this might actually get more complicated. Because how do you determine... You know what, we might actually need to use block displays rather than just straight up blocks. Because otherwise, how do you determine what, where we're placing stuff? Yeah, let's use block displays. Okay, so let's just do that now. So I'm gonna hop into MC Stacker. Alright, so let's... Okay. I'm gonna try to close all the ads that would there we go. Okay, I think we're done with ads at this point, at least the types of ads that would dox me. So I think we're good. Okay, so I want to summon a block display, which is a white concrete, and we can scale it. We can scale it like this. Translation can be -0.5. There we go. And then, actually we can keep the light stretch to be 1. And so we'll now summon this block display. So I'm going to summon a block aim to the middle. So we're going to summon a block display at, that. Did not mean to do that. Okay. We'll summon a new block display at 0.5, 56.0, -0.5, with this information. Okay. Let's fix that. Okay. So we need to do data merge. I forgot that when it summons a block display, it assumes that you're at a corner. So, not a fan of that, but sure, why not? And at least it's consistent. At least it's consistent and not some kind of random, just randomly decided. Bedrock edition. Oh, and that needs to be shifted like so. It was scaled. Okay, there we go. Okay, does this look like a token? Not really. Let's maybe try smaller. Okay, so then we need 0.35 there. maybe scoot it down a little more. Yeah. Okay. Does this look like you just placed down a playable token? So the hitbox is right on the ground, which is going to make things very nice for us. Oops. Didn't mean to do that. Does this look like a playable token right here? Let's try placing the others here. So we're going to place this at... okay. There we go. Okay. The less texturing, like custom texturing that we have to do, the better. So, do this. And we can do this. You know what? Let's make that a challenge. Let's make that a challenge for this game. This game will have 0 custom textures. That's the challenge. So that means, as far as actually placing the tokens, I think just punching the board. Does that seem like an okay user interface? As a player, you'll just walk over and go, "Oh, I want to place here." Bam! Just punch the board. I don't know. I figured that'd be decent. Okay, so these are the starting arrangements. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to tag. First off, how many different block displays exist in this world? 4, okay. Okay, so we're going to tag all the block displays as start. Okay, and then this one's going to be tagged as white. And this one also white. This one will be tagged black. And this one also black. Okay. So now, how do we do this? Oh! Yay! Back at your computer. I do want to play some games, but also I want to make I want to build Othello. Let's see if we can build this in the one live stream. We're 20 minutes in. We already have a board. That's pretty good. I suspect I won't have an arena ready by the end of the stream, but I at least want the game to be ready. So let's see. How do we do? You know what might be smart to do? Let's put these invisible light blocks around here. This is how, so the way that I'm thinking of actually figuring out where you're allowed to place the token is, I was thinking, starting from each of the tokens that you currently have, basically make a line, like summon, I guess, 8 different interactions, which will go flying out, like run across every white token until it either comes across something that you can't place on, or it comes across an empty spot. And if it comes across an empty spot, then it stays. But if it runs across anything that's illegal, then you will not be allowed to place there. And one of the things that's going to make that work is these light blocks around the boundary, so that if ever the interaction runs into one of these light blocks, it just basically insta-dies. So that's what I was thinking. Let's do. Okay, so let's do. See if we can do move interaction. This is going to be a recursive. This is going to be a recursive thing. So let's actually make a new folder for that. The possible moves. This will be all the ways that we figure out the possible moves. Yeah, block displays are so cool. Yeah, and yeah, I'm definitely not using them to the extent that I'm definitely not using like block displays and item displays to their fullest extent. Like, because I think the most advanced thing I've done with them so far is the mini golf thing, like the arrow that spins around. Yeah, that's and that was a pain. Now I guess the thing I most use item displays for is like the fact that it doesn't have a hitbox, and like they rotate with you. Like you can make them rotate with you. But yeah, there's some crazy stuff you can do with block displays and item displays, which I haven't even touched, because quite frankly, I am terrified of it. Well, I'm not really terrified, I guess I haven't really thought of a way to use them. It's the same way that I still struggle to use marker entities. Like that's a thing. But I really struggle to figure out what to actually do with it. Like, I don't know. I guess I'm kind of old school in that way. Like, I just prefer armor stance. I don't know. Yeah. Then again, who am I saying about old school? Like, I literally started work on this sort of stuff like after item frames and block displays came out. I just couldn't figure out how to use them. And the thing that's most often used, oh yeah, they're great for decoration. And MC Stacker, very nice tool. They even have a thing for like dealing with quaternions, but they don't. Unfortunately, punching in quaternion stuff is kind of weird. So I found a website. It's this, a 3D rotation converter. Yeah. That lets you convert rotations from degrees along various axes into quaternions, which quaternions is what's expected to be used here in when you're doing the thing with like animations and rotations and stuff like that. And quaternions themselves are mathematically pretty cool. I just understand nothing about them. Oh, apparently you can also use Block Display Studio. I don't know how to use this, but it is a thing. And yeah, this is some pretty cool stuff. I just don't understand it well enough. Ooh, procedurally animated spider. That's cool. Okay, so let's see. Where were we? We were working on figuring out what's considered a valid move. So, we start off by doing a... Let's do a summon interaction. So this is what we're going to execute at every token that we have available. So this executes as the block display being targeted. We will know what kind of... So I guess we'll know what the tag of that thing is going to be. But in either case, we're going to do execute add.s, run summon an interaction located there. Oh, and let's figure out the interaction size. So I want to summon an interaction. Let's do... There we go. we're going to summon an interaction where it's going to have width. Let's do the same width as the token itself. Yep, there we go. Okay, cool. This interaction is going to be what makes this all work, and the interaction is located at the proper place, so no hitbox issues. Okay, excellent. So from there, so this will have width 0.7, height 0.2, SCCB 0.7f. We'll tag this as possible move. So we'll have 4 of these. And actually, let's do them, put these in each of the cardinal directions. And then for the diagonal directions, we have special possible move diagonal. Do that, that, and that. And these are the special diagonal ones. Okay. We'll do 1, 1, 1, negative 1, negative 1, 1, and then negative 1, negative 1. Okay. So we have diagonals. And you know what might be easier? There's one case where a really annoying feature about interactions might actually come in useful. Because what I'm about to do is this. We're going to do rotation 90F, 0F. So you notice the blue arrow here indicates which way it's rotated, or like which way it's facing. And the annoying thing is that these interaction entities are just cubes that don't rotate, which I find really annoying in a game like Ticket to Ride. But in a game like Othello, is actually going to be very useful. So I guess while this ridiculous feature is here, we might as well take advantage of it. So here, so we got the different rotations. So let's add this as a thing. Okay. This is going to be 0. This one's going to be 90. This one's going to be 180. And this one's going to be negative 90. And then this one's going to be 45. And then 45 plus 90 is 135. Then the next one's going to be negative 135, because you can't have angles go beyond 180. And this is going to be negative 45. Okay, cool. So those are the 8 different directions. So from there, what we're going to do is we're going to do execute as at E, predicate equals Othello in dimension, tag equals possible move. So we're going to do possible move, run, function, Othello. Actually, let's tag these as new possible move. That way we can keep things clean and organized. And we'll only call them possible moves once they stick around. So this is in the possible moves / and then we're going to do move interaction. And that's going to be a recursive thing that we do for each of the interactions that are involved. And then, oh, you know what might be useful to do? If entity at S is tagged as white, then we tag all the possible moves. So this will mark this will mark out which ones need to be actually flipped. So new possible move. We're going to tag them as black. No. Yeah, they should be tagged as white. Because the idea is, starting from this token here, we're going to cast these rays all the way out, as basically figuring out where we have white tokens somewhere else. But it's going to scoot across the black ones, and then the interaction is going to show up out here. So yeah, that's a thing there. Let's see. So we're going to add it as white if you tagged white, because that's white to move, basically. And if you tag black, then add black. Oh, and what we're going to do... So these have already been moved 1 square. So what we can do from here is... so these have been moved 1 square. So before we proceed, we're going to do execute add at E, predicate equals Othello in dimension, tag equals new possible move. I'm going to execute as each of those. Then we kill the interaction. So from there, what we're going to do is execute add.s, run if there is, so if the block directly underneath it is a moss block, and actually, yeah, it's not gonna help much. We're gonna do unless entity at E Othello in dimension, type equals block display, tag equals, so unless there is a black token right near you, this is all the ones that are tagged as white, and if there is nothing right next to you that is black, we're gonna make this distance 1, then we run kill at S. So basically, it's going to attempt to check. So what the system is going to do is try to basically summon an interaction on each of these 8 squares here. But because this one has a white, it's not a black, and these also don't have anything on them, so it's definitely not a black. So it's only ever going to accept the interactions placed here. At which point proceeds the recursive part. This is the first step of the recursion. Okay. That's not really our first step of recursion, because in the move interaction part, this is where things get interesting. So first off, we do, so this executes as the interaction being moved. So we're going to go execute at S, rotated as at S, run TP at S 1, like that. Okay, so this guy's rotated this way. Let's rotate it 90 degrees, or minus 90. And then if we give this interaction those instructions, we're going to execute as at n type equals interaction. It will move forward 1 square in whichever direction it's being rotated. That is the power of the caret notation. It basically, like this, basically moves it forward 1 square or 1 block in the direction that you specify, or whichever direction is currently rotated. So that's pretty cool. And then if it is, now the problem is if it is rotated by 45 degrees, like this, then 1 square is not going to be enough. You see, it's not aligned with the middle. So to get it aligned with the middle, we need to do some geometry. So as Pythagoras famously said, every triangle is a love triangle when you love triangles. So the goal here is that you're going from one block that shares a diagonal, specifically this middle of that block, to the center of the next block that also shares that diagonal. So the distance between the centers is going to be 1 on one side and 1 on the other. And so to get this diagonal distance that needs to teleport, this is a right triangle because everything's 90 degrees. So this distance is going to be 1 squared plus 1 squared. Take the square root of the result, you get the square root of 2. Now square root of 2 is famously an irrational number. So we're going to do as good of an approximation as we can get. That way we don't gradually start drifting things away. So it's about 1.414212356. I think that should be enough digits. Okay. So this is going to be execute unless entity at s tag equals diagonal. And then if you are a diagonal, then it moves by a factor of, it moves by square root of 2. So let's do that. Okay. And there we go. That basically puts it pretty much right in the center. Seen the videos? Yep, so that's the idea right there. It's gonna move by a factor of square root of 2. And so if this is rotated by 135 degrees, same principle, square root of 2. It is a little bit off, but I'm just gonna have to accept that because it's not off by enough to actually notice anything. And if it is off enough to notice, that's why we have more digits of square root of 2. We can always do something like this. Let's see, is this enough? Okay, at this point we start running into floating point precision, which is basically fancy talk for computers are really bad at decimals. Because they're very bad at decimals. They end up like cutting off decimals before they should be. It's a huge problem with it's a huge problem with things like this, especially when huge problem especially in Minecraft. And especially when you're dealing with an irrational number such as the square root of 2. But that's fine. Okay, so we move the interactions. And then we need to do some logic. So let's say this token has just moved by that square root of 2 or whatever amount. So we then need to do some logic. Based on this, if what it's currently sitting on is a black, then needs to continue moving forward. If it's not sitting on anything, that is a valid place to move. And then if it lands on a white, it needs to be poof, gone. And also if it sits inside a light block, it needs to be destroyed. It needs to be killed off. So in fact, we should do that here. Okay. So before we even decide white and black, we're going to do and at s if block near you, right on top of you, is a light block, insta kill. Because that means you hit the edge of the board, so insta kill. Otherwise, and if you have a white token, you need to start off on a black. And if you have a black token, you need to start off on a white. Okay. Based on this, we then go over to this move interactions. So this does a move, and then we need to do a check. So we do so if entity SS tag equals white, then we check. Execute add at s. Add at s. Run unless, so if what's near you is a white, then kill on sight. If what's near you is a black, then you're okay. If you're not near a white or a black, so this is unless there's a white near you, or unless, so let's see. If there is no white near you and there is no black near you, then we instead do tag at s add possible move, and then we remove new possible move. So if lands on the same color, kill it. Oh, and if it's out of bounds, kill on sight. So we basically just do this. If it lands on the same color, kill on sight. Just like this. And then if lands on opposing color, well, if it lands on an opposing color, then it still needs to keep going. If it lands on empty space, then we need to fix its location and don't move further. And don't move anymore. We're also going to do a thing where if out of bounds or intersecting another interaction, then kill on sight. So we do execute if entity at e, predicate equals Othello in dimension, type equals interaction. Actually, that might make things weird. Let's not. Okay, we can have multiple interactions in the same location. That's not a problem. Okay, that makes a new possible move. Fix this location and don't move any further if it lands on an empty space. So that means if it's white, then actually we don't need to distinguish white versus black. We just do this. So if the thing near it, if there is no block display near it, at least not one that's tagged white or black, then it is now a possible move, and it is no longer a new possible move. Okay. Cool. From there, we do, and then if lands on opposite color, then continue the recursion. So at this point, So really it's execute if entity at s tag equals new possible move. Because this would have killed it on sight instantly, and presumably returned, like, stopped the function immediately. So I assume that's how that works. So if you're still tagged as new possible move, like your position hasn't been fixed yet, then we run the function Othello the possible moves move interaction. Okay. Nice little recursion to get things going. Okay. Let's see if this worked. So we're going to reload. And now, let's see. Oh well. Game is lagging. Why are you lagging? Is it just because there's a lot to render? Nope. Okay, we got light block. Don't know what that is. Oh, it's just called light. Okay. Okay. It's not a light block, it's just called light. Okay. Here we go. Okay. Let's reload and recheck. Okay, all is well. Alright, let's test it. So we're gonna do execute as the nearby block display. Run the function Othello summon interaction. That did not work. How many interactions are here? Oh, wait, it did work? Oh, it hit the recursion limit? Why did it hit the recursion limit? Okay. There's only one interaction. Hold up. How many interactions are there? No interactions. Okay. Okay, so that was an abysmal failure. Let's see what went wrong. Okay. So we're gonna do oh, I see what happened. The rotation doesn't match where it was placed. Okay, I need to be more careful about. Oh, crap. No. Okay. Interaction. There we go. Can we get back that starting block? Nope. Damn it. Okay, we got a duplicate there. We need to plop this here. And then tag it as white, and tag it as start. Okay. Right, so we need to be more careful about this. Okay, oops. So going in the 0, 0 direction, we need to go -1 in the Z here. No, that's +1 in the Z. Okay. Okay. So 0, 0 goes in the positive z direction. 90 goes in the negative x direction. Negative z, 180 goes in the negative z direction. And then negative 90 goes in the positive x direction. Okay. And then 45 degrees is the positive x, negative z. Negative x, positive z. Positive z, negative x goes in 45 degrees. Okay. 135 is negative z, negative x. Okay. Negative 130 degrees is positive x, negative z. Positive x, negative z. And then negative 45 degrees is the positive x, positive z direction. Okay. That should fix things. Okay. Let's try this again. Okay. So now we're gonna do summon interaction. Yo! Nice and fast. That's what I like to see. Okay. And how many? We have 2 interactions, okay. So now what if we did type block display tag equals white? Huh. Still only summon those 2. Why are you doing that? There's now 4 interactions. Well, where are they? Hold on, what do you tag this? Oh. Why are you not tagged? You are wait. You are start. What do you tag this? Black and start. You are tagged as black and start. Okay. Weird. Okay, let's try that again. Okay. Yo! Alright! Sweet! This works. Okay. So those are all the possible places where white can move. How about all the places that black can move? Yo! Okay! Alright. Alright. I see how this is. Cool. Well, in that case... Okay. So we now can detect all the possible moves. So now what we need to do is actually make the moves. This should also be fairly straightforward. So the make move. It's more or less going to copy, and in fact, this will be summon interaction. We'll call this summon. Let's call this summon possible move. This will be move, possible move. So this is summon possible, move possible. And then this one will be summon the actual move. Okay, these won't be interactions, they will instead be armor stands. Okay, we're going to replace new possible move with a, oh, and at the end of this we should probably kill the diagonals. Actually, well, untag them at least. Okay. So instead of new possible move, it should be new actual move. In fact, every possible move needs to become actual move. Let's actually just call this Z moves. This will do both the possible and the actual. Oops. Let's do that. Okay. This is the moves. And then this is going to be the moves. Okay. Summon the actual moves. So here we're going to do move actual. And then what this does is, so if it crashes into a light block, kill on sight. Well, actually, Okay, you know what this needs to do? Okay, so let's think. What does this need to do? It's going to go from the place that you placed your thing. So it's going to execute as, in fact, it's going to execute as the interaction where you place your move. It's then going to cast out its rays all the way out until it hits the same color, at which point it should then maybe move back and flip as it moves back. So it's going to, actually, should it flip as it moves? Yeah, and then if it runs into the same color, it stops. That's probably the best way to do this. Okay. So the new actual move we add. So if we're placing it as a white thing, then the armor stand is going to be tagged as white, and then it'll be flipping over any black squares. So if it crashes into a light block, we kill on sight. If there's no black near it, then kill on sight. And if it is currently black and there's no white nearby, kill on sight. At which point we start moving the actual armor stands. Okay. In fact, we not only remove diagonal, we're in fact going to go into here, tag equals new actual move. Just as a little cleanup measure. Okay. Let's turn on some more music. Let's do Cinematic Soundscapes Volume 1. This one's fun. Okay. So now we take the move possible. We'll turn this into a move actual. Okay. So if you're diagonal, then you move at the So this is being moved as the armor stand. If you attack this diagonal, you move by square root of 2. Okay. If you run into a light block, so if you're out of bounds, kill on sight. If it lands on the same color, then kill on sight. That sounds right. If it lands on an empty space, okay. So if it lands on the same color, kill on sight. And then okay. Let's actually test. Does killing a thing actually stop the command? Because then we can do something really silly. So let's tag this thing as ah. Oh, how many ahs did we put there? Let's actually just do add There we go. Okay. So now we're gonna do execute if entity. Actually, as at E, tag equals run execute if entity at S, run say hi. Okay, so this is just if you exist. That's the plan. That doesn't do anything. Okay, I don't think that was a very good test, but I'm sure it works. Okay. I guess we can still call it new actual move. So if it lands in the same color, kill on sight. If it lands on opposite color, flip the token. And actually, if lands on a blank, kill on sight. So we do .s. Okay. And now if it lands on the opposite color, so this will only happen if it lands on the opposite color. Because we got the same color and we got the no color. Then we flip whatever token is currently present. We flip it and then continue the recursion until we run out of things to flip. And well, actually, okay, we do need to do the move out and then move back. Okay, never mind, this is dumb. Because otherwise you could potentially have a case where a player places here somehow, and like maybe it's because they are allowed to place stuff there because maybe they have a setup like this. I'm not sure how this setup would be created, but like if they then manage to place a white here, it should only ever flip this white. It should only flip that to white. It should not flip these because these don't have a white on the other side. So yeah, we do need to actually go out and find the endpoint. Okay. So move the actual. So we basically need to do that same kind of move possible and move actual thing. Okay, so then if it lands on the same color, well, if it lands on the same color, we don't kill on sight. So actually we want, oh, what do we want actually? So if it's out of bounds, kill on sight. That's normal. And we don't bother with intersections. If it lands on an empty space, then kill on sight. But now, so if it lands on the same color, then that's the indication that it's a real thing. So if it lands on the same color, then fix this location and don't move anymore. So this is possible because we have new actual move. And then we remove the new actual move. Okay. So we do so if it's a white, then we then executing as at that entity. If near it is a white, then we tag it as actual move and remove the new actual move. And you know what? Let's just do that at the very last step. Okay. If it is black and it lands on a black, then also tag it as an actual move. Once we do this, we then, if you are tagged as actual move and new actual move, then remove new actual move. Okay, so if it lands on the same color, we fix its location and then we don't move anymore. If it lands on an empty space, kill on sight. And so then we can then proceed. If lands on opposing color, on the opposite color, then we continue the recursion. Okay, so the logic still works. We're just going to call this new actual move. Instead of move interaction, it's going to be move actual. And we need to change this to move possible. Move possible. Okay, so we have the move actual. And over here we have summon the actual. So at this point, there should be nothing labeled as a new actual move, because we would have found them all. So now what we do is, so we've cast out our arrays, we've figured out where we have endpoints. So now they need to come back together and they need to come back together basically. So executing as the interaction where you placed your move. We're going to tag add start array. So we figured out where we have our endpoints. And then we do new actual move. Yep. So then we do execute as at E, predicate equals Othello in dimension, tag equals actual move, run function, Othello z moves, flip tokens. Okay, so at this point there should be no such thing as a new actual move, because either it would have been killed by one of these conditions, or it would have been tagged as an actual move. So now we go to flip tokens. So to do this one, flip tokens, now we need to go backwards. So going -1, we're going negative square root of 2. We don't have to worry about going out of bounds now. Okay. Okay. And then if it lands, at this point, there's no logic that needs to be done. The only logic is that run execute if entity at E. Basically, if the start point is right next to you, then your job is done. So this is tag equals start array, then run kill@s. And distance 0.1. So if you're standing on the start point, then you're done. And now, flip the token underneath it. And then we continue the recursion. Okay, so now we flip the token that's underneath it. So we do execute if entity at s tag equals white. Then we data merge entity Othello in dimension, type equals block display, distance equals 0.1 up to 0.1. Let's make this an @n, so it's always going to be the closest one. And we're going to transform it into a white concrete. So we make it, if you're supposed to be a white thing, you turn into a white concrete. And if it's supposed to be a black thing, it turns into a black concrete. So we do data merge, and we're also going to tag @n remove black, and we're going to tag it as white. Okay. And then we do the opposite if it's a black. So this one, we visually make it a black concrete. We remove it as a white thing, and we tag it as a black thing. Okay, at which point we continue the recursion. Okay. Cool. Okay. Right. At which point we continue with flipping the tokens. Okay. Sweet. So this should be a functioning game now. So yeah. Runs on an empty space. Let's actually make sure that armor stand logic works, because the interactions are going to be on the edge of whatever's currently placed. So you need to make sure that you start off on a token of your proper color. So, right, yep, that makes sense. And then that makes sense. Okay. So nice little recursion going on. And then we're going to rotate turn, let empty function. Basically all we need to do. And this rotate turn can be stolen from another game that uses two-player rotating. Basically any game works for this. So I think I'm going to yoink from 5D Chess with Multiverse Time Travel. because why the heck not? It is in fact a two-player game after all. Should be nothing special. $5:08 a.m. Replace 5D chess with Othello. And then once it becomes your turn, we then need to do execute if entity at a predicate equals Othello in dimension, tag equals player 1, tag equals your turn. Then we run execute as at e, predicate equals Othello in dimension. We do tag type equals block display, tag equals white. We do run function Othello z moves summon possible. So if you're player 1, we summon all the white ones, and if you're player 2, we summon all the black ones. Okay, from there, we do... Okay, so we summon the possible, and I think that's basically it. And then we need a function to be able to make the move. And what this is going to do, this is actually going to directly execute as the interaction that just got punched. Actually, it's going to execute as the player, because we need to do some standard player stuff to make sure that you did actually punch the proper thing. Executes as the player. So you got to do a standard thing where we do if you're not a player, we yell at you. Yell that you're not a player. And then if it's not your turn, then yell that it's not your turn. And then if it is your turn, then whatever you just right-clicked or punched, I think we're gonna allow both. Then we're gonna do execute as at e, predicate equals Othello in dimension, tag equals make move, run function. We're gonna do Othello z moves, and I think summon actual should do the trick. Yeah. This makes the move, and then from there it'll flip all the tokens. We do the end condition, so check if we can end the round properly. So this is actually pretty straightforward. We're going to do execute if, we're going to create a new scoreboard, objectives add. We're then going to kill all the interactions. There we go. Then we add num of tokens. We're going to do execute store, results score. We're going to check and see. Hey, CJ, what's up? We are building the board game Othello. Do you know what that game is? We have Othello in dimension, type equals block display. Nope. Okay. Well, it's a pretty quick, it's a pretty easy game. In fact, the plan is that we'll get it done by the end of the stream. So the idea is that it's played on an 8x8 board. You have white and black tokens that you place on the board. Whenever you place a token, like say you place a black here, it will then draw a line between any two. Like if you have like a, so like if there's a white here and there's a black here, if you place a black here, it will flip over any white or black that's like connecting the two. So I've basically already got most of the programming done. This is basically just player interaction. So, yes. Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. Oh, and it was my birthday. So I got this super cute dress for my birthday. It's really pretty. And it's twirly. Super awesome. I like it a lot. So let's see. So we store the number of tokens. That'll store how many are currently on the board. And then we do execute if score jtemp j number of tokens matches 64 or more. Yep, new dress just dropped. Then we run return run function Othello and round. This will determine who wins. And then we also got to do scoreboard objectives, remove j number of tokens. So this just figures out who wins. Oh, we need to actually summon the new token. I forgot to actually do that. So we do Othello in dimension, tag equals make move, run summon a block display. So here's when we need to do the thing. Where did I last summon a block display? Right here. Okay. So we just summon a block display at these coordinates. And then this can be a red concrete because we don't know what we're currently doing. Actually, let's make it a gray concrete. Okay. And then we do, so we tag this as new token. And then we do execute if entity add e, predicate equals Othello in dimension, tag equals make move. So wherever we made the move, if we're making the move as a white, then actually let's make it based on the player. So if you're player 1, then it's white to move. And then we do run data merge entity at e, predicate equals Othello in dimension, tag equals new token, limit equals 1. Then we make this a white concrete. So if you're player 1, you get to be tagged as a white concrete, and you also get tagged as just as a white. On the other hand, if you are player 2, you get to be visually shown as a black concrete, and you get tagged as being black. At which point we do Othello in dimension, tag equals new token. We remove the fact that this is a brand new token, because at this point it doesn't matter, we have it placed in. And then we summon the actual. So all's good. Okay. Cool. Okay. And then we run the scoreboard, check how many tokens there are. Okay. From here, excuse me. So this places the token. We flip all the things. We flip the tokens, kill off the interactions, then check how many are left, and if there are any left, then we rotate the turn. Because it is then the next person's turn. Okay. You're not a player, it's not your turn, yada yada yada. Okay. Cool. Okay. Excellent. So we flip the tokens, check how many are left, and if there's any left, we rotate the turn. Okay, cool. So now, I think that's just the game is working now. Well, all we need now is the ability to make interactions actually do a thing. So that's just going over here somewhere, and I assume we're probably gonna have a floor. Just make it out of cherry planks for now, because I can't think of a design. I think it may be 3 wide. So this will be cherry planks, replace sandstone. Okay, so that means this will be the board, this will be the wall, and so we can stick the command block over here. Okay, so this will be the command block where, hey, what's up? Execute as at E, predicate equals Othello in dimension, type equals interaction. Okay, let's make sure we get the proper NBT thing here. So we do if we have an interaction, we want in attack UUID attack. Okay, we run tag it as add make move. And then what if this was instead a right click interaction? Okay. So both are going to be tagged as you just made a move. And then we're going to do as at E, predicate equals Othello in dimension, tag equals make move, run function Othello make move. Pretty sure that's what we called this thing. Yep, make move. Okay. From there, we're gonna take this, stick it up here, and then we're gonna do data remove entity at S interaction, and then remove attack, and tag it as remove make move. Okay, 5 command blocks just to make the interactions do their thing, and then based on that we're going to do the standard remind people that it's your turn thing. So I'm going to do execute as at E tag predicate equals Othello in dimension, tag equals your turn, run effect give at s glowing 1 0 true, and then we do title at s action bar. Text is it's your turn. Colors color is green, and that's that. Okay. Cool. So that does the thing. And you're already going to be glowing and all that, so I don't think we really need too many special tokens. And so the challenge, so CJ, the challenge with this particular game that I set for myself, no custom textures whatsoever. So these are just these are just block displays, and we're not even going to use a custom texture for the current player's turn. That is the challenge for today. Okay, so that does the begin round. Yeah, no custom textures. And so far it's basically working. I mean, this is pretty much it. Yep, this is the game. So, as a matter of fact, it might be worth, what am I tagged as? Oh. I'm going to remove all these. Okay, now I'm going to tag myself as player, and player 1, and player 2. And this is actually going to break a lot if we did the verify moves thing. So we're going to switch this system out so that the same player can do twice. So we shouldn't do that. We should do if they're tagged as white, and then here, if this is tagged as white, then if this is tagged as black. So in theory, this game would be able to be, you can play against yourself. That's what this just allowed us to do. So yeah. Okay, let's reload. Make sure we don't have any silly errors. Okay. And with that, I'm going to tag myself as your turn, and then oh, this is going to be tricky, isn't it? Can we make it completely independent? Can we make it so one player can do a turn? I think we can. Let's try this. We're going to do a hot swap. Say this block right here will tell us whether it's white to move or black to move. Okay, so if that is a white concrete, then we set block there a gold block. If it is a black concrete, we place a white concrete there. And then if it is a gold block, we place a black concrete. Nice. And based on that, we do if that block is a, oops, if this block is a white concrete, then we tag at a, yep. Tag them as it being your turn. And if it is a black concrete, we tag player 2 as it being their turn. There we go. Okay, we're making it a single player game. This is actually going to be kind of cool. So if it is a white concrete, and if it is a black concrete, we do that. Okay, excellent. Okay, so that's challenge number 2. Challenge number 1, no custom textures. Challenge number 2, we're doing, we're making it a single player game. Even though it was not designed to be a single player game, but we're doing it anyway. Why? Because. Okay. So here we should be able to do, oops, that function, Othello, rotate turn, black, okay, and we got the interactions there, very nice. Okay, rotate turn, oh, it works, holy smokes, it works. All right, okay. So in that case, begin round, all we really need to do here, we just do function, board games, active on, Othello, actually we do must entity at A, so there needs to be at least one player. Turn run title at a dimension title, call it not enough players. Okay, so then we're going to do scoreboard, objectives add, J num of players, dummy. But then I'm going to do execute store result score, J temp, J num of players, if entity at A, put it equals Othello in. Actually, we do need to do the calculate number of players thing. Okay, where do we do calculating number of players? How about battleship? Let's just yoink. Function, calculate number of players. Okay, let's yoink from here. Replace B with J. And then we replace battleship with Othello. Okay, And here we need 2 or more. And then max on, max off. Okay, we're good. So we need to calculate number of players. Calculate number of players. And then we do unless score j temp, j number of players, matches at least 1. So there needs to be at least 1 player. And then we do execute if there is exactly 1 player, then we run tag at a predicate equals Othello and mention tag equals player. We tag them as both player 1 and player 2. Okay, and this is what makes it a functional 1-player game. At this point, we then need to do we then would need to reset the board. And we basically just need to place in these 4 squares again. So let's go back to where we summoned the block display. Where did we do that? I'm definitely not going to have the arena ready by the end of the night, but we're currently looking at finishing the game by the end. Games Othello, run summon. That's going to be a white concrete there. We should tag it appropriately. Okay. And then that's 0.5, negative 0.5 is a white. The other white's going to be negative 0.5 and positive 0.5. And then we do the 2 blacks. Black concrete, black concrete. This will be the positive and the negative 0.5s. Okay, excellent. So this resets the board. We tag it as active on. Okay. From there, yeah, very productive stream. Okay. Oh, and then we also need to do execute in board games Othello, run set block. This here needs to be a white concrete because it's always white to move first. 1056 minus 1 with a white concrete. In fact, let's do this. We plop in a black concrete there. We're going to place a redstone block in its proper place, and then we're gonna run the function rotate turn, and that will activate everything else. Yep. Function Othello rotate turn. And that activates the game, at which point we would be ready to play. Okay. Let's see if this is actually a functional game first. And then we'll add the win condition. Okay. So let's reload. Make sure we didn't make any silly mistakes. Also close paintbrush. Oh, we made an oopsie. Column line 1, column 24. Oh. Text. Okay. So now, I shall do Othello, begin round. Okay. White to move. Here we go. White. It's called possible. Oh, because it's called possible move. Well, it is supposed to also be make move. It might be this the stupid issue again. Let's see if we do this. Okay, let's stick a lever here. And then, is it the stupid issue again? Let's see. Yeah, it appears to be. Okay. In that case, tag at n, type equals interaction, add make move. And I'm going to do execute as at n, tag equals make move. Run. Yep. Oh, we're going to do. Oh, I've been a little silly Billy. I've been silly. This needs to do make move on attacker. And I think I can just stick this on here. On target. Yep. And then minus 10, 59, 0 up to minus 10, 63, 0. We clone that to minus 10, 60, 0, replace move. And stick this inside here. There we go. Okay, excellent. That should do it. Let's see. Othello, begin round. Okay. See if this does the trick. Wham! I said kablam. Oh no. And we're lagging. Oh no. Yep. Yep, we lagged. That's not good. Okay. Let's see why that happened. Okay. Let's see if we can figure out why that happened. That definitely was not supposed to happen. Okay. Make move. Let's take a look-see. So. We begin the round. We have this interaction right here. Okay. We're going to place a sandstone there. And now, this is the thing that we want to place our thing at. So I'm going to tag the local interaction as make move. Okay. So now, we do so we are going to summon the token. And then we do that. And we do that. Okay, so we have a new white token placed right there. So now we flip the tokens. direction says hi. Now, let's pop into Z moves because we do the summon actual. All right, let's pop into here. So we have summon actual, move actual, and flip tokens. Let's do all of these. So when we summon the actual, I'm going to move this over here just so we can do the testing properly. So we got, okay. We need to do execute as at n type equals, tag equals make move, run, boom. Okay. Then we do a bit of that. We do a bit of this. We do a bit of this. Okay. Got a 45-degree angle. We've got another diagonal. We've got another diagonal. And the last diagonal. Doop and boop. Okay, that 8 different directions. Now, which of these is valid? So let's start array. So then we do E tag equals make move. Okay, so all the armor stands are labeled as white. Okay, so now none of the armor stands have hit a boundary, so we're good. There's only one valid direction. Good. Okay. So that means this. So what do we do in move actual? So we're now going to execute as the local armor stand. Okay. And then we do, it's not going to hit a boundary. Is it on the empty space? Ow. Oh no. Ah, crap. Okay. Execute in board games Othello. This is the point in the night where I start making very silly mistakes. Okay, where were we? There, okay. We need to do execute as at n type equals armor stand. Oops. Well, that would explain it. Oh, you know what I might have forgotten to do? No, I didn't. Okay. Okay, this is the end of the stream. We're almost done. Let's see if we can at least finish the testing. I'm afraid we have not succeeded at fully completing the game within the night, but that does mean within a few, maybe in a couple days, a new game will drop. So yeah, we can play it next stream. Let's see, can I figure out what's wrong with this? Let's see. So I'm going to do execute as at E tag equals new actual move. And that does nothing. Okay, that's exactly what it's supposed to do. Okay. From here, I'm going to do execute as at end, type equals understand. It is now tagged as an actual move. Oh. Okay, maybe we should do something like this. Okay, then we remove new actual move. Okay, so then we can now do, is there anything here that's still tagged as new actual move? No. Okay, which means mission accomplished. So now we're going to back up. So now we're going to do flip tokens. So we're going to do execute as at E, tag equals actual move. We're going to back up. We're then going to flip. So let's do, well, let's first check our condition. Make sure we're not back at the start. Good. Okay. Maybe we do this. Okay. Flipped it to a white. Excellent. We then technically mark it as not being black anymore. And in fact, it is now all white. Wait, what? Oh. Needs to be added as a white. That might do it. Okay. At which point, we then continue with the moving back, and we do and then we kill the armor stand. Okay. At which point we then kill off all that. That concludes summon actual. And now we have made the flip, and we can now rotate the turn. Okay, and it just properly detected where black is allowed to move, which means now, how about this? Oh. Oh no. Well, that's not supposed to happen. I have an infinite loop somewhere. Yep, I've got an infinite loop. And I don't know where it is. So that's fun. Okay. To be figured out later. In the meantime, set the spawn point here. And we grab our fireworks and we end. Where's our elytra? Elytra. Where is it? There we go. Okay. So I hope y'all enjoyed this. This was a nice little programming challenge. And I'll see y'all next time. Later.